Tullys Shocktober Fest could be by far the UK's scariest Halloween event, with some fan favourite mazes such as Chop Shop and so much more. So join us today over here on Theme Park Ghosting as we go through the top 10 mazes at Tulleys Farm. Pack your bags, and at number 10 we are going to the Creepy Cottage, and this maze straight off the bat is really well themed, as the point is you going into a rundown cottage, and what I love most about this maze is the many moments where actors just may pop out of nowhere, as in my favourite opinion, jump scares are like really what can make or break a maze, and they definitely have done it right. In my opinion, if you came here and were scared to do mazes, I would highly recommend you heading into this maze first, as I think that it is the weakest out of all mazes. However, that does not mean it's bad, because you're going to come out thinking this maze is pretty amazing. Coming in at number 9, we have got Horrorwood Haunted Hayride, and this maze may definitely be one of the most creative mazes that I've ever seen, as this isn't a walkthrough, no. This maze is actually technically a ride, as throughout the maze you are sat in this train type vehicle, and the train will go around and actors will appear along your journey. I personally love this concept, as you can tell that Tulleys thought outside of the box for this one. If this top 10 list was ranked on rides, then this would 100% be number 1. However, since this is listed of the scare attractions, it is in the number 9 spot, as although the thought is very creative, some of the scares could be considered not that scary, but don't get me wrong, you could go and easily find it terrifying. At number 8 we have got the Circus of Horrors. Now, if you've been to Tulleys, I'm sure you're thinking, hang on, I thought this was a show. Well, then you'd be correct, however this isn't your average show, as the Circus of Horrors is what it says in the name, a circus, and wow, what a circus it sure is. During a show you can see some really amazing stunts being performed, and some you thought you would never be able to see. The soundtrack for this show is also very well fitting, so if you want a breather from all of the scary mazes, then I would highly recommend this circus. Coming in at number 7 we have got Street Theatre, and this is basically the park's roaming actors. Some include prisoners, alien guards and so much more, which when you roam around the park it gives you great interaction towards all the guests, even without having to go and enter into one of their mazes. This sort of interaction is definitely one of my favourite things at Halloween events, as you don't always want to be going into the mazes or scare zones, so that is why Street Theatre is at the number 7 spot. Are we at Thorpe Park? Because at number 6 we have got The Island. Unfortunately this isn't The Island like no other, but this is another maze on the list, and it is a very long one with a runtime of over 7 minutes. So when you're going in here, just remember you'll be in there for a while, and what I love about this maze is that it's quite enclosed, meaning you won't have a lot of space to move around. So if you are claustrophobic, that could be scary. However, the ending is also just amazing, and I love how everyone sprints away from the person with the chainsaw. I would highly recommend doing this maze at night time and not at sunset, because it is outdoors, so it will be 10 times better if you're doing it when it is pitch black. Do you miss Big Top? Well, at number 5 we have got Twisted Clowns, and this maze is really creative, as it's one of the only few mazes I've seen that uses 3D glasses during the experience. Yes, you've heard me right, 3D glasses, and this is such a cool concept, because with the glasses on you, the maze experience is so much better than without them. Overall, this maze has some really cool props and cool moments, and it really makes me think that even though we don't have, unfortunately, Big Top at Thorpe Park anymore, you can experience something similar-ish,  'ish, 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 Coming in at number 4, we have got the Village Coven of 13. And during this 10-minute journey, you are going around in the dark and misty area where you never know when the next person is going to strike. I love the lasers that they use within the maze, and this along with the mistiness creates such a spooky experience. With this being as well 10 minutes long, there will be a lot to see and a lot of scares when it does come to the actors, because they are extremely scary, who just appear out of nowhere and you will sure be screaming for the rest of the day. The theming for the maze as well is also amazing, as it does feel like you are walking through a very spooky village. We are now entering the top 3, whoop whoop, and now at number 3 we have got the one and the only Chop Shop. And this maze is such a classic, but also so intense for me, as you really can see where Thorpe Park took its inspiration from, as the Chop Shop has some of the best actors in it, and when the maze is full of small little areas and sharp corners, you are sure to be scared. They can really just appear out of nowhere. If you're not a fan of chainsaws though, I would recommend maybe not to do this maze, as you probably can tell by the name, but there are a few chainsaws within. But overall, especially if you do it with a group, then this experience can be incredibly intense for all of you. Unlike some of the other mazes, this maze has a runtime of around only 5 minutes. However, those 5 minutes are so much better than the 10 minutes you will have on some of the other mazes, in my opinion. Coming in at number 2, we have the Cellar Imprisoned. And wow, is this maze creative. I mean, it's the first maze that I've ever seen in the UK that uses an animatronic within it. And the animatronic is a snake that launches at you, and that really starts off the maze well. This maze has so many different features. You have strobe lighting, you have a section where you are cramped up, good theming, and so much more. I'm not really too sure what someone would want more within a maze, and it's also worth noting that the actors within it are very, very crazy. And what I mean is that they really throw themselves at you, and if you come out of the maze not impressed, I'm not sure what I have to say to you, but just comment down below, as I would love to know why. We are now at the number 1 spot, and at the number 1 we have got, of course, Wastelands Penitentiary. And wow, this maze is pure terrifying. Straight away, as soon as you enter into the maze, you can really tell how much effort Tullys put in when it came to this maze. You really feel like you are within a prison. Then you are greeted with the actors, and these actors are just outstanding. They really scream their heads off and throw themselves around the place. I love the strobe lighting in the maze section, and it is just full, and I mean full, of actors. They're smashing against the bars and making you feel absolutely terrified, and that is what makes this maze definitely at the number 1 spot. Hats off to Tully, really. This is definitely a world-class maze. Well, unfortunately, that is it from our top 10 video over here at Tullys Shocktober Fest. If you have enjoyed this sort of video with all the Halloween mazes, which we don't normally do on the channel, please make sure to like, subscribe and comment down below that you want me to make more videos just like this, as I could do a top 10 video at Fright Nights and so many other scare events. Also, if you do have a massive support towards the channel, please follow our Patreon page, as it means the absolute world to us. And also, yeah, just thank you for watching this video and have an amazing Halloween, because this is Derrick from Theme Park Coasting on our Theme Park Coasting Halloween series, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.